At this time, is there anybody who would like to speak at,
Karen,
on the,
Is that me?
yeah.
Okay. Karen Marshall, representing the 4th of July committee. We put in a proposal.
you wanna come up over here?
Oh.
Or stand right here even?
Okay.
Yeah, come right up here. That way you're on camera and stuff like that, everybody can see you.
Okay, thank you. We put in a proposal to ask for utilization of the grounds again this year, like we did last year. It would be the rec center as well as hopefully I don't know the name of the park that's down across from Sandy's,
Rouse Park.
so that we can spread things out if we have to. We're putting that proposal knowing that like last year, if COVID restrictions and guidelines say that we can't do these things in a safe manner, we're not gonna do it. So that's one ask, and then the other one was the donation piece. It's the exact same one as last year. In addition, I don't have a new, there was an estimate for portalets that I put in last year. That was, I think, accepted, I can't remember, yeah. So I will get a new one to see if any of the prices changed on that, but it's the
Okay.
same ask as last year,
Mhm.
depending on what that looks like. So
Okay.
that is all.
Mhm.
Okay?
Excellent,
Thank you.
thank you.
you.
Anybody else would like to speak?
You want to get approved them to do the
Yeah,
4th
we
of
can.
July?
Oh, okay,
I'll make
yeah.
a motion, we allow the 4th of July committee to use the rec center grounds in Rouse Park
Second?
And get the funding?
and get the
And
funding.
get the funding?
Yeah.
Okay, and Benny second, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, anything, on the minutes? Somebody accept the minutes as written?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Bills? Any deletions, Arsen, or?
I don't have an addition or deletion, I just have a change. Bill for J. Hogan Refrigeration and Mechanics should read 197.56 instead of the 221.71.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, Mr. Mayor has, want to discuss the laptop for the fire department, which he's not here, and replacement of the truck. We'll postpone that until next meeting. And he has a you have a resolution here, you said? For the
Yeah.
budget modification?
Yes, the budget modification. 2021-07.
I can do that for you if anything you want.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the Board of Trustees deems it advisable to make certain modifications to the 2020-21 village budget, be it therefore resolved that the treasurer is authorized and directed to make the following modifications to the village budget for fiscal year 2021. In summary, under the general fund, net result, account 960, appropriations, you're gonna decrease 3,125. Account 599, appropriated fund balance, you're gonna increase that to 16,622. And you're gonna decrease your estimated revenues, account 510 for 19,747. Civic Center, net result, decrease account 960 appropriations, 21,178. Increase the appropriated fund balance, account 599 for $7,072. And decrease estimated revenues for $510, account number 510, in an amount of $28,250. Under the water fund, net result, you're gonna decrease appropriations $1,200. You're gonna increase estimated revenues $13,555 and decrease the appropriated fund balance, account 599 for $14,755. In the sewer fund, net result, decrease appropriations account 960 for 52,784. It decreased the estimated revenues 510 for 33,500, and decreased the appropriated fund balance account 599 for 19,284. And this is to get the budget back in line and move stuff over into the proposed budget.
Okay.
So we need to make a motion for that.
Roll call vote.
I need a motion first.
Oh, motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the resolution as written.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll
Or
call.
roll call vote. Mr. Menard,
Aye.
Mr. Gadway,
Aye.
Mr. Falke,
Aye.
and I vote aye.
Thank you.
All right, other things, the driveway at the library. The mayor called, conservation today on regarding the Dodge Memorial Library. And it says that, they requested to swap the directions of the, driveway at this time, but New York State DOT suggests that simply eliminate the access on Route 11 to improve the access on White Avenue and eliminate any accident risk entirely.
I say Route 11, you mean Lake Street?
Yep,
Yeah.
so instead of having two-way, have one-way,
I think we need
just
to-
off in White Avenue.
I think we need to discuss that with the library board first, right?
Yep,
Also,
do they serve?
yep,
didn't they tell us it had it, this one, when we wanted to make a two-way, the driveway has to be 26 feet in order to make it a two-way driveway? The library driveway will not meet that.
yep,
But if it goes out on or on
White Avenue.
White Avenue, that's a village road, it doesn't have to meet state requirements. That's only
Right.
if you're going out on a state highway.
Right, that's what they want, in on, oh, I see. But they wanted to go one way the other direction. They don't have it wide enough to make the
Right.
driveways two-way.
Right. Seems like they don't want us to come out on Lake Street at all.
Right.
They want us to come out on White Avenue in and out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I would like to get the library opinion on it.
oh yeah, definitely.
Library board's opinion.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
And for the rec center, request an update on the map and the current situation of, Google map is outdated. And so the mayor, he's gonna do some drone work with his equipment and stuff like that and create all new updates on the maps and stuff, so. He's gonna do that, and I guess he'll get back to the conservation department,
DOT.
or the DOT, sorry. Alrighty, so that's it for that. And, okay, at the fire department, next week, everybody but 3 people have all their shots. I talked to Mr. LeBlanc today, and everybody has their shots, except for 3 people, next week. And on Pearl Street, near Mr. Baker's house, there's a tree right next to the edge of the road, and looks like it's going to split right in half. If they'd have been leaves on it, he said today that the tree would have probably tipped over. So it probably split right in half, so
It might
we
come
should
down.
take a look at it.
Might come down tomorrow. We got 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, so,
Is the tree,
Is the tree in our right of way?
Yes.
Or no?
yes, yeah.
maybe we can get somebody to take a look at that in the morning? I don't-
Yeah.
All right, and,
Are we looking to take it down?
yes,
So if
it's
we-
not very big, it's probably a foot and a half on the stump, probably.
Okay, we'll take it down.
It's not a
tomorrow then.
very big tree. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, and also I'd like to talk about the floor at the village office. It needs replacing. And we got all the specs on that,
Yes,
Adam?
yes, we got quotes for it. It is a budgeted item, and it's definitely in need, before someone trips, definitely a trip hazard. It's 20, 25 years old now, so We got a couple different quotes, one from Marty's Carpet and one from Lee's Kitchen Carpet and Appliance. And, they range from, 7,700 to 6,200. And, I've been working with our son, and, I think we've got a plan. We definitely have the funds budgeted, so, we just wanted everyone to be on the same page that there's gonna be some, little bit of renovation work in there in the next, hopefully, few weeks, so.
Are they gonna have to shut the office down for a day or so?
No, we're looking to do, some night work, so they're willing to do it either after hours, or possibly if it falls on a holiday, if we could schedule it to work. A couple of our guys have to help them move the furniture, move the cabinets and whatnot, and they're gonna do all the work. We're looking at a vinyl flooring called loose lay. So it's something that they put in down in the church hall. It's got really good reviews. The people down there really like it. It's really durable. So our son and the girls picked out what they think would look best, and I've been kind of leaving it up to them because they're the ones that work there all day. So I think it's gonna be nice when it's done.
Sounds good.
So we need a motion.
Do we need a motion to approve
Yep.
it?
To approve it.
I make a motion, we approve the flooring for the village office.
Second?
All in
Sorry, I
favor?
didn't hear the second.
The second?
Jamie.
Jamie,
Thank you.
yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Alrighty, I don't have, the only other thing I have is, we're looking for a village historian. If anybody would be interested in that, call the village and either talk to me or Susan, the village administrator, and we'll see what we can come up with. So we can't let that go. Alrighty, that's all I have. Mr. Menard?
Just one thing tonight, I wanna, ask our code enforcement officer, Mr. Cooper, have you been allowed to go into the ERS building yet?
Never yet, they haven't called me up and told me where they were on their plans. They're gonna be about 3/4 done before I go in there. The offices and the ceilings.
Okay. I know, I believe we scheduled a special meeting to meet with some representatives of ERS on Thursday night at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
If I could just comment.
Yeah, sure, please.
I did speak to the ERS attorney last week, confirmed that they would be here, had some discussions about some of the issues we had with respect to, you know, some of the activities that may be going on, or at least are alleged to be taking place at the building. They're going to be here Thursday at 4 to talk to us about it, explain what's going on, and give us some more details.
I just would have liked our code enforcement officer to give us an update before we got into the meeting, so we'd have a little more information going into it, but.
No, I understand. I did not know where that stood until we just had this conversation.
Right. That was just my question. I wanted a little more information before I knew we were sitting down with them on Thursday, so I would have liked to know what was going on in there. And I think the whole board would have liked to know.
Well, they made a statement in the paper, but they didn't really explain anything as to what's
Exactly.
going on.
They haven't explained anything to anybody, so, on this board anyway.
We'll have an opportunity to talk to them on Thursday,
Yeah.
and they can give us some explanations hopefully and tell us what's happening.
Sounds good.
Anything else, trustee Menard?
That's all I have for this evening.
Trustee Guideway?
I got one thing. I'd like to request an executive session on a particular employee.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Opposed?
Sorry.
That's all you have?
Yep.
Mr. Trustee Pelkey?
Yes, I brought up the last meeting about the moratorium that's coming up on electric boilers. It's done in April. I would like to know what the board's feelings on how we should go forward, if it should be put into a local law or to be extended. The moratorium protects the residents of the village. What it does is it reduces our high demand load on our system, and it's all calculated in our rates. So if we have these non-energy efficient electric boilers on our system, if drives our demand up, and that's all a factor of, in our utility bills that we all have to pay. So I just like to know what the board's feelings, if we should extend it or make it into a law.
I mean, it's way up to the board. I mean, I don't know how much, I don't know how much discussion we've had regarding electric boilers in the past. I was aware about the moratorium, but again, I didn't know if there was discussion that the board had with respect to them. I know there are, you're talking about electric boilers, Brian, you're talking about boilers in backyards, that type of thing, or no?
No.
No,
House
electric
boilers.
boilers that they're replacing fuel oil furnaces with hot water heat. And with the electric boiler, you're not meeting the energy code of the standards of the electric heat energy code. So it's a high-use piece of equipment that really packs out our system.
When it comes on at 100 amps at a time, right, Mr.
Well,
Fowler?
it draws
It draws
it
100
can draw up to 120 amps.
Yes.
Once it's wide open, and it'll really pack our system out on the residential side. So we've had a moratorium for the last
2 years.
Yeah, it was 18 months, and then we had it before that for a couple of years, and a few.
The thing of it is, if
passed.
October of 2019.
It just keeps getting dropped or put away at the wayside. And if you get a big utility that comes in, or a big manufacturing company comes in, and they decided to put electric boilers in, it could cripple our system. We gotta be careful on what kind of energy use that we wanna be available. I mean, I'm all for energy use as long as it's, if it's create jobs and, because for every 50 jobs that you create in a employment atmosphere, you can get a half a megawatt of hydropower, allocated to you. So we want to be careful on how our loads are in the village, because if you get somebody that, to me, I can't say abuse the law, but abuse our cheap power, it makes everybody pay. Because it's a formula that's calculated out on hydropower, demand, wheeling charge, so it's a whole formula that's figured on what we pay every month. So that's where you see that your monthly bills change on the usage demand, because it depends how much the demand is on the system.
And if we don't put this into law, then every house in the village technically could go to these hot air furnaces.
Hot water.
Hot air
Yeah,
or hot
hot
water,
water,
but
hot
they're a
air.
high demand, they're
The
a high,
electric boilers, they could go, and I mean, if you get 100 houses and they're all at 100 amps, you're talking them.
they don't have an Energy Star rating from them. So that's our concern. Is
Well, not only that-
if they came out with an Energy Star rating, I'd be all for it. Because then, they did their research and there is facts behind of what they're trying to quote.
Well, not only that, if we forget, the village board forgets to re-up the moratorium and stuff, and then it goes,
That's what happened 18 months ago.
right.
There was a couple electric boilers put on our system.
Shouldn't have been. So, well, I mean, it's really up to the board, however you want to proceed.
Well, because it's due in April, can we extend the moratorium for another 12 months? Because if you're gonna make it into a local law, you're gonna have to advertise, do a public hearing, do the whole, it takes time, correct?
Yes, it does. I think the standard as far as moratoriums is that at least, that it's a reasonable period of time, not an excessive period of time. And if, it's deemed to be a reasonable period, then moratoriums are fine and will be supported by, by the courts, whatever. If they get to a point where it's unreasonable, then we just keep, but if a municipality just keeps extending a moratorium without taking any action, that's where it could be called into question. So,
Can
This should have
we,
been put in.
so
can we extend this for 6 months till we make it local law? Would that be?
I would think that'd be a more reasonable period of time. I mean, how long has the moratorium been in place now?
Year and a half?
18 months,
Yeah.
and it's up in April.
It was signed on October 22nd of 19.
Well, I think, take into account certainly COVID year that we've experiencing. I think a 6-month period of time would be reasonable, taking into account what's gone on in the last, certainly the last year. With everything.
And then
I don't think any.
we can get going and get our hearing and everything, our public hearing, or make it into a law, within that time.
Get a proposed local law drafted, so the board can look at it, so the public can comment on it, and then go from there.
I think it keeps getting forgotten about,
Right.
and that's our problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so if we go 6 months, we need to get it done, that'll give us time to have Tom draw up a law for us.
Is that something that you draw for us?
Sure. I could look into it and see what I can find out there
So to
for
extend,
samples that might be able to be adapted to the village.
to extend the moratorium, you just have to do it by resolution, or do it by motion?
It's almost passed similar to like a local law, quite frankly. I think that's how the moratoriums were passed before. So, to answer your question, I think I would probably put it on for the next meeting agenda. But I think there has to be, whether it's by resolution, but I think it has to be able to enact it similar to like a local law where it's passed and adopted.
So we'll bring that up next meeting.
Yeah, I can put something together for next meeting.
Anything else, Mr. Falke? No.
That's all I have.
Ms. Administrator?
I don't have anything else, thank you.
Trustee? Or, Tarzan?
We need to schedule a budget meeting. The budget has to be out by March 17th, because it has to be presented to the board on before March 20th at a regular meeting, and March 17th is the last meeting. There's a few things that needs to be discussed on the budget.
So can everybody meet sometime this week? Or next week?
On Saturday
Saturday morning?
I can't Saturday.
Saturday.
How about Thursday?
Thursday,
night?
huh?
Thursday night?
We're here Thursday night for,
All that's fine.
I mean, you guys,
I got,
your schedule is probably.
For next Monday?
Monday,
Monday?
Monday.
Yeah? Monday, everybody? 4 o'clock?
Fine.
4, Gene?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, next Monday, 4 o'clock, we'll have a budget hearing, or budget meeting, I should say.
The only other thing I would mention, I know trustee Gadway made a motion for executive session, so we're going to be going into the executive session. I would also request that a motion be made at the executive session on the issue of personnel as well. So we can make that motion as well. And maybe, I don't know if it's the same thing with your matter is going to be trustee Gadway, but there's a separate matter that needs to be discussed.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we have an executive session on personnel.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Right?
Opposed? Carried. Mr. Cooper?
The only thing I have is I'm preparing a letter now. I'm getting the addresses matched up with the homes. I'm sending everybody that has over one water billing. If he obviously has an apartment in the house, it's a second apartment. Everybody's gonna get a letter about the smoke detectors and the fire prevention thing. We haven't sent them out in years, but I'm getting it all lined up, and I haven't even written the letter yet, but I just said, there's a few hundred of them, and I gotta get the addresses, because it's 14-something street, and if somebody lives in Plattsburgh or somewhere, you gotta get everything lined up, so that's what I'm working on right now. Of course, as you guys know, except for the home inspections that I have going, things are pretty slow.
Okay.
That time of year?
Yeah. Any questions from the public? No questions? Make a motion to go into recess.
Second.
Yep, Adam?
But
Pam.
How are you?